Welcome to the RadioU podcast. Coming up, the one horror franchise that even Allie won't watch.
Also, Aaron Boone of the Yankees just gave his catcher a heart attack.
All that and more on the way next. Allie, don't worry. Chipotle is not closing.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried.
I was worried too.
No, I wasn't at all.
I didn't know I needed to be worried, but then I saw headlines that it was, or at least people talking online that it was, but it's actually not.
I didn't see these headlines at all, so I had no idea this was even going on. But I'm glad it's not happening because I do love Chipotle.
I know. That's when these rumors started, which the rumors ran rampant over the last few days that Chipotle was closing. And you see that and you're like, what are you talking about? Like somebody on Twitter said on X, they said, how Chipotle going bankrupt when I get a bowl with extra chicken and guac every day? Chipotle is constantly packed. There's always people there.
Yeah, there's always a line. They always take forever when it comes to getting your order ready or whatever. You select a pickup time. That means nothing.
It does. It's
meaningless. Nothing. So, yeah, Chipotle is always busy. They are not going bankrupt anytime soon.
No, but for some reason, and I guess we have traced back the roots of where this rumor came from, it was a Spanish media outlet that had reported about something that Chipotle invested in or a venture they were a part of called Farmesa Fresh Eatery. Have you ever heard of that?
I have never heard of that.
Neither have I, because I don't think it lasted very long. But Chipotle was involved in that, and that closed. And even that closed some time ago, but somehow that story got turned into Chipotle is closing. And once, a rumor, it only takes a few people to start spreading something before everybody's freaking out about it. But freak out no more. Chipotle is fine. I think they're actually they're whatever the opposite of bankrupt is Chipotle.
Exactly. I feel like they're one of the food companies or restaurants or whatever that's doing really, really well right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no need to panic, no need to worry. It's all good.
You can get your Chipotle for lunch today, and I feel like a good trade-off would be whatever you spend on Chipotle for lunch today to keep them around, you should also give to RadioU
yeah.
to keep us around. I think it's only fair.
Yep.
RadioU.com or the RadioU app to donate during the spring fundraiser. Allie, tomorrow, opening day for baseball. The MLB season, cannot wait for that.
Yes.
And one of the exciting things is a bunch of teams are unveiling new uniforms they'll be wearing this season. The Washington Nationals among them. They just unveiled their new City Connect uniforms. I figured we've mastered describing the RadioU fundraiser Echo T, so we should move on to something comparatively much more complex and try to describe the Washington National City Connect uniforms. How would you describe them?
Well, they've got that lighter blue color, kind of powdery blue, not North Carolina blue.
Yeah.
But it's a lighter blue for sure. And it's got an outline of the city grid for Washington, D.C.
Which has a very unique layout.
Yeah, a very unique layout. And that's on the jersey itself. On the hat, you've got a big W that is in bold white and black. And then bookending the W is cherry blossoms, which is perfect for obviously Washington, D.C., kind of what they're known for. Also in the W, the outline, the valley of the W or whatever, is the outline of the Capitol Dome.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I thought that was a cool, feature. But my favorite part of the jersey is they have an interlocking D and C design on the chest. And that, I guess, was done by the Washington Senators years ago. So that was kind of paying homage to them. But that's my favorite part of the jersey. Overall, I feel like City Connects often fall a little bit flat. I don't hate these, but sometimes I feel like the details are a little too minuscule to actually make them memorable.
Yeah.
But I do really like that interlocking DC.
I like the City Connect jerseys, and in many sports do this kind of stuff now. They're fun, but also when you need a whole infographic to explain to me everything that's going on in the jersey, I feel like it's a bit much. Definitely for if you're watching on TV or even in the stands from far away. You're not going to pick up on any of this stuff. So it's really only if you want to buy the merch, which is why they do this probably in the first place anyways. But I couldn't help but see as soon as I saw these, and it's the map of Washington, D.C., the road map. And do you not think Millennial Burger Joint wall with
yes.
How many It's not even millennial burger joints. Like a lot of McDonald's have this. You walk in and one wall is like the city you're in.
Yeah.
Gastonia, North Carolina. And it's like a map of the town. And it's like, okay, McDonald's, we get it. You're proud to be in Gastonia, North Carolina.
Right. You got the blueprints.
Yeah, that's right. That's really cool. Really. And that's what I think of when I see these.
Yeah. It's not exactly like a modern, fresh idea. It's just kind of like, okay, they needed something on the jersey. They needed some type of flourish. And so they decided to get the Washington, D.C. It's like, just in case you didn't realize, we're in Washington, D.C. and we're paying homage to Washington, D.C. with our City Connect jerseys.
It's supposed to connect with the city, but do you think the people in Washington, D.C., like I grew up not far from there, and I'm not like, oh, fired up. Yeah, it feels like home.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Like they really know our town.
Right,
our
exactly.
City.
They know the streets.
Yeah. You have Google Maps. Congratulations. Well, you know what? The RadioU Echo Fundraiser tee, I think it's much simpler than this. And I think that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. It's way cooler.
Check it out, RadioU.com or the RadioU app, and donate, and we'll send it to you. Allie, I found something that is giving me so much anxiety right now.
What?
The new trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, yes.
It just dropped yesterday. The new movie comes out on May 16th, and this is the worst kind of horror movie to me.
Yeah, I saw a teaser for this when I went to go see Nosferatu. They were playing a teaser ahead of that. And it was just one scene, and it was like showing you all the different ways that this person could potentially, find their end, as they do in all the Final Destination movies. They show you all of the ways, and you're trying to guess, like, how is it going to happen? It's so much like panic-inducing, anxiety, anxiousness, nervousness, all of that. Yeah, I tried to avoid this trailer so much. And
I literally have it playing right now, and I don't know why.
I know.
Why am I doing this?
It's so hard to watch.
It's not even the movie. I'm just seeing all of the, like, where they don't quite die. Somebody got stuck in a revolving door.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to imagine that these are ways. Now I have to be stuck with being worried about these things.
Right.
Like that's why this is the worst kind of horror movie, because the idea is that these could actually happen to you. They're just realistic enough. And I wonder, they have to base these off of like actual stories that kind of like a medical shows will like take from real hospital cases or whatever. Like these have to have happened to some people, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some of them.
I don't know if they base them on a true story, because some of them are pretty wild.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how they come up with this stuff. Like, you know that meme that went around a few years ago about like the 3 guys in a room coming up with the concept for IKEA, and they're all like, good idea, bad idea, like saying that.
Yeah.
I want to know what the room looks like when they're coming up with the Final Destination deaths. Like they're like, picture this.
Yeah.
They're pitching the idea.
How could a rake kill somebody?
Exactly.
Let's figure it out.
They're on a trampoline. They're jumping. It keeps getting lower and lower and lower. And then like you see the rake and you're getting anxious. Yeah, that's, I want to be in that room, but also don't want to be in that room.
What I want to be in the room with is somebody who's like, I can't wait to see this, because why? Why would you do this to yourself?
Exactly. I don't know why anyone would want to put themselves through the torture. I have never fully watched a Final Destination movie because I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I do not have the wherewithal to make it through one of those movies.
I have a tough time with any other horror movie that's unrealistic. I cannot do these.
No.
I cannot do Final Destination, but it is coming out, the new one. How many Final Destinations have they made?
There's so many, and this is one that they're supposedly like, it's Bloodlines. They're supposedly showing you, because it's supposed to be like you die in this horrible way if you escape death. Or like you were supposed to die, but you didn't, and so death is after you now. And so now they're like, all these people were supposed to die. They were never supposed to be here. And
you
so
sure know a lot of the storyline for never watching.
They explain way too much of the plot in this 2-minute teaser, I have to say.
I don't want to know anymore. I'm closing, and this is it. Goodbye, Final Destination. I want to forget that you exist until I keep getting served YouTube ads for it, probably. You know that thing where like you're having a conversation with somebody and they ask you a question and you answer the question, and as soon as you are done answering the question, sometimes even before you're done, they give their answer to the question, as if they didn't care what your answer was all along. They just asked it to start a conversation that they wanted to have.
Yeah, I think we've all unfortunately experienced this, and it's so annoying and frustrating to be in a conversation with someone when you think that they genuinely, because when someone's asking you a question, you think they genuinely want to know. Why else would they ask the question? But then they make it obvious that no, they actually didn't care to hear your answer. All they're doing is trying to set up a position, a time for them to share what they want to talk about. And so it's all very insensitive and just kind of self-centered. Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm glad to know that there's at least a term for this now. It's so frequent. People do it so much that it's been given its own moniker. It's called Boomerasking, which at first I thought was definitely
a reference to boomers?
Yeah, I was like, all right, but that's not a boomer thing at all.
No.
Well, I mean, they do it just as much as anybody.
Anyone does it, yeah.
But it's actually, when you think about it, it does make sense because it's like boomerang, where it's like they throw the thing at you and you're like, I'm going to catch it. And then it just whips right back at them and they catch it. That is boomerasking. You ever have somebody that's like, you watch anything good on Netflix? And you answer and they're like, I don't even have Netflix. I don't, I hate when people do that. And that's a classic boomerasking situation. Now we have a term and you can call people out and be like, you're such a boomerasker.
I hate it when people will ask you about like a movie that you recently watched.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, I saw you went to see this movie. What did you think? And as soon as you finish sharing what your thoughts were on the movie, they're like, well, I just know I'm going to hate that movie.
Yeah, right. No matter how much you said you liked it.
They already have super negative opinions and they just wanted to trash talk it. And they just were waiting for an opportunity to do it. And they were just going to... It's really bad when you really liked the movie too, and yet they're still willing to trash it.
Yeah, I don't have any space for boomeraskers in my life. I find it very frustrating, but at least now I know what to call them. I can call them a mean name, and hopefully that'll make them change their ways. Now that we can shame people for doing this, because it's a horrible practice.
Because we all know that definitely works every time. Just giving a mean name to something makes people stop doing something.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, if we shame them enough, bring back shaming, I say.
Bring back shame. Bring back guilt.
Yeah, RadioU.com or 8772 Radio U. You know what's even better than shame is praise, and we want to praise some people for donating. Like, Allie, look at this. Timothy just donated.
Yes, thank you so much, Timothy. We heard from him. He gave $10, and he said, as a delivery driver, I need the morning traffic updates, and I love having something to listen to. Thank you, Timothy. That's awesome to hear as a person that does the traffic here on Radio U.
Yet again, Allie, I remind you, even though I know you don't need this reminder, tomorrow is opening day for baseball.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been excited for months, let's be real.
Yeah, we've been counting down the days here, at least the two of us, and I've got some more baseball news.
Okay.
This revolves around the Yankees.
Oh, all right.
And even though it revolves around my nemesis, the Yankees, even I have to have a heart about this, as this is very nice.
Yeah, that's the thing is I saw this story and I was like, I'm not a fan of the Yankees as a Cleveland Guardians fan, but this is a really heartwarming moment.
Yeah, so all the opening day rosters are being announced, like the players that have been at spring training that maybe already know they're going to be on the team, maybe are going to be on the team or not at all, and maybe some that are going to be sent down to the minors, blah, blah, blah. The Yankees in their opening day roster revealed that 29-year-old J.C. Ascara, he's a catcher, is making the opening day roster. He has been toiling away in the minors. Like, he's 29 years old.
Yeah, that's old to be moving up.
He's never made it to the majors before.
Right.
He's never been on the opening day roster. And he's never given up on this, though. Now, you may or may not know this. If you're a baseball player that never makes it to the majors, there's not a whole heck of a lot of money in playing in the minors.
No.
And so he's had to pick up side jobs as like an Uber driver and a substitute teacher, but he never gave up. Many people probably would have at some point been like, 26 years old, I guess this is it for me. I'm just going to get a straight job and forget about making the Yankees.
Right.
This guy never gave up. And now he has made it onto the opening day roster for the Yankees.
What an incredible story. But I also have to say, I was laughing because Aaron Boone, who is the manager for the Yankees, they were filming a lot of these moments.
Like Hard Knock style, basically.
With hidden cameras and stuff. And so they filmed this moment. It's got a hidden camera. Aaron Boone did a great job of playing off what looked to be a message of, hey, you didn't make it.
I know.
You're sending back down to the minors.
I hated that. I was like, what are you doing to this?
I was like, you're giving this poor man a heart attack. I know. But he played it off well. And then he's like, nah, man, I'm just kidding. You're coming up. You're on the opening day roster.
Yeah.
And, JC is like so excited. And then they later posted a video of him FaceTiming his mom, and his mom is crying. And it's like, oh, it's just so awesome.
It is very sweet. I'm happy for him. I'm also happy because, Allie, as a Red Sox fan, if the Yankees are scraping the bottom of the barrel to pick up Uber drivers and substitute teachers for their opening day roster, they can't be very good this year.
Yeah, I was going to say that I don't know how this bodes well for them as far as a team. It is a heartwarming moment, but it's like, this is the best catcher you can get.
I hope they go 0-162. NayNay is here with us. And NayNay, I have to imagine you breathed a huge sigh of relief yesterday.
Why?
Because you're a Cowboys fan.
I am a Cow. Why does that me sighing a bit? Did we get any good players?
No.
Did Jerry Jones give up being the GM and the owner of the team?
You dodged a massive bullet, though.
How so?
Because the New York Giants, as reported, have agreed to a deal with Russell Wilson to be their next quarterback, which means that you most notably do not have to deal with the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, coming to the Giant in your division.
I wish they would have taken him, because then I would have known at least we can be the third best team in the NFC. I'm actually worried that the Giants might hop the Cowboys in this and we'll be the worst team in the NFC.
I don't think you have to worry about much with Russell Wilson.
Get this. I sent that graphic on Instagram to a friend of mine who is a Giants fan, and he said, I said, Giants country, let's ride, ? And he said, man, I gave up a long time ago. He's not too high on him.
Yeah.
I think I might be giving him a little bit more credit than credit's due. But I
think you are, yes.
With the Flegels already winning the Super Bowl, having them beat the other team that's in our division, the Washington whatever we call them now, and then we've got my lovely Cowboys. I mean, what are we going to do? I have no idea.
I mean, I think now you at least have a shot to not be last place in the division, which should be exciting for you. I don't understand, Allie. I guess I feel bad for the Giants coach, Brian Daboll, because he's guaranteed to be fired now. He could have had a great quarterback. Instead, he gets Russell Wilson. He was making Daniel Jones work. Now he's like, great, I get a new... it's Russell Wilson.
It's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Nail in
Russell
the coffin
Wilson
moment.
at least has a Super Bowl under his belt. Let's give him some credit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is he's not the worst quarterback in the NFL, but he's definitely not going to make the Giants improve upon what they already are, which is terrible. So, it's not looking great for Brian Daboll or the Giants. And as your friend who is a Giants fan said, not much to look forward to. Yeah.
Now, as much as NayNay should be breathing a sigh of relief, Allie, you should be quaking in your boots.
Yeah,
you know what this means.
But here's the thing: I'm not upset about the potential of it happening.
I'm not happening?
But
Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers. And they're going to win the AFC North and win the AFC and win the Super Bowl.
I did not think that's what you were going to say.
That's what's happening.
I thought you were
guaranteed now.
He'll be the third best quarterback in that league. Best shot. Third best quarterback in the league.
I thought he was saying they were going
in the league. Yes, the third best, even at his advanced stage.
My bad. I meant division.
Still the third best.
I meant the division.
RadioU.com. Donate. Thanks for listening to The Hudson Show. Please don't forget to rate and review the podcast.